Hello there, and welcome to Made for More with Oheji podcast. It's so good to be back. I guess I really never knew how much I missed you, all my amazing listeners. Boy, it's been such a long time, and since the time we've been on break, there's been so much going on in the world, so much drama, so much, in some places, tension, sometimes sad news. Politics is not helping. There's so much happening in the media and the entertainment space and all. There's been so much going on. There's the war between Russia and Ukraine. There's been change in leadership. Politics has been, in the UK, for instance, in Nigeria, the elections are ongoing. There's a president-elect. Sadly, there's been an earthquake in Turkey and Syria. Really devastating. Tens of thousands of people have lost their lives. Really sad, really sad. My prayers are actually still with those people, the families and everyone. There's been so much happening on the international plane. Globally, there's so much happening, and locally, there's a lot happening to people that they're feeling some pain, and there's so much that can happen to bring some form of respite to them. I'm hoping that as we resume Made for More with Oheji podcast, the conversations would bring up here would intentionally create solutions that would meet the needs of people, bring some form of respite to them, and help the ailing public. The ideas we would generate would help people come out, would really create solutions to these problems so that we can come out of the problems that we face. So, I say to you, welcome to Made for More with Oheji podcast. Welcome to the platform where we have conversations that create a blissful future for our world. And we'll start the conversation on this new season 4 of our podcast. We'll start a new series on Made to Innovate. And today specifically, we'll be looking at the kind of ideas that change the world. See you in a bit. So we're beginning season 4 by looking at the topic Made to Innovate, right? Made to Innovate, Made to Innovate. And then the specific episode, like I mentioned just now, is going to focus on the kind of ideas that change the world, the kind of ideas that change the world. And we'll begin this segment by looking at how great ideas come. And it makes me remember one of my favorite authors, Dr. Sam Adeyemi, wrote about ideas. He says ideas rule the world. And I believe that ideas intelligently executed rule the world. So execution is a vital part of ideation. If you create ideas and you're not executing them, really nothing can come out of it, right? So we're looking more into how great ideas come. Probably in the next episode. I believe that great ideas come from what already is, what already exists, what already exists. That is, an idea somewhere is a seed for another idea somewhere else. When a great idea is executed, it sparks a bunch of other great ideas. So a good example of this is the creation of the GPS sensor. I saw that from Stephen Johnson's book, a book on ideas like this. And it said the US military created the GPS system initially, but it was for military use. But other ideas were generated from that, and today we use the GPS system for cars navigation, the Google Maps, hoteling, and the hospitality business. They use reviews. It aids in the reviews and other things that come out of that. That's one idea that created others. One idea then grows to create others because it sparks other great ideas to come. This is where I believe that you're doing the whole world a disservice by not executing the ideas you get. That idea that comes to you and you do nothing about it, you're not helping. That idea could be the spark for another person's great idea somewhere. So think about it, try to start acting more on the things, the ideas that you get. The second one Second place I believe that ideas, great ideas, come from, the kind of ideas that will change the world. The second place I believe they come from is from community. Our interactions with people, association with people. We meet people every day that we go about our business, go about our work, people in our family, our community, politicians around us that we interact with, our business people, colleagues at work, people at places of worship. We meet people every day in the marketplace. So many places we are interacting with people on social media. Let's begin to make our interactions happen in such a way that they create ideas. And that is why I'm happy about such a platform that we have, the community Made for More with OHG. So join Made for More with OHG community so that we can work more to generate more ideas that can continue helping the world. That is why we're creating this conversation. It's a platform where we create ideas that help the ailing public or that help the world generally to attain bliss. Another place where I believe great ideas come from is from evolution of other great ideas. An idea, once executed, is capable of growing into something robust and significant. So when you set up an idea, it can begin to grow into phases. And from a particular idea, it can evolve, it can grow, change forms, change appearance, and become something which it didn't look like at the time it was created. So an idea can start as this, and then you keep moving and making improvements on it, and then it can create something else. But if that idea does not come, the other ideas cannot build on that foundation. Very important. One other area we'll look at before we wrap it up here. By the next episode, we'll look at a few more. One other area I think, or I believe that we can get, what many people will call luck. I just want to call it kairos. It happens. It just happens that you find yourself at the right place at the right time, and something just happens. Or at the right time, without struggle, it just happens. You can get these ideas and begin to act on them. Ideas come to you. Some of us may have those moments, the eureka, that you're in the bathroom. Sometimes ideas come to me like that. I'm in the shower and a light bulb just comes up in my head. I'm like, whoa. Sometimes I can't wait to leave the bathroom so that I can write it down. And usually I've learned to always write ideas down when they come to me. So ideas can come at such moments. But if they don't come in that way, hey, you can create ideas by putting your pen to paper. Do not wait for those moments, those bursts of inspiration before you take action. And then you blame the lack of action. You blame it on no inspiration. You can instigate, you can catalyze inspiration by acting right now. That is what I believe. It works for me. I may share more tips on that by the next episode. But we'll leave that conversation there for now, and we would consider something else briefly before we wrap up. All right, so we'll consider some of the things we just talked about more deeply by the next time we're expanding on what we're talking about. So one of the things which is very important for us to touch on before we wrap this, is to, first of all, spot a great idea. How do we spot a great idea? And one of the things I believe is that a great idea is not about only one person. It's not about the person who gets the idea. A great idea that can change the world. We are talking about ideas that can change the world. A great idea that can change the world is not about only one person. It may start as an idea that came from one mind, but it doesn't stop with one person. So if you find yourself interacting with an idea which is only about one person, I think you should take a walk. It's not something worth your time. An idea that is going to have impact on the global scale cannot be centered around one person. So consider that. Thirdly, it's going to be built around a team. just like we said, it's not going to be about one person, right? So the person, you would find yourself, imagine it right now. You're part of a team executing something, and everything is all about one person. You can't find yourself in the mix of that idea. So a great idea would usually build a team around it, and then each member of the team will find their place in that idea or in the execution of that idea, where they find something meaningful, purposeful that they are doing. Another one is that there are going to be clear-cut goals that create clarity. Clarity, there has to be clarity about the purpose, what people want to achieve. What do you want to achieve? It has to be clear. It has to be clear. And clarity would come when you begin to write things down. Any idea that is not on paper is not worth acting on, because you really cannot know what you are creating in your mind until you begin to put it down. Until goals begin to come out of them, you really can't do much with them. So clarity comes when you begin to put things down, put goals down, create timelines, assign tasks to people, generally create, make your goals smart. I think that's the best way to go about it. Be smart. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, or realistic, or time-bound. And clarity can come when you create these ideas. And there has to be clarity about the purpose. Clarity about the purpose, the journey, the timelines, expected outcomes, and all of that. Very important. Another one, an idea which is capable of evolving. An idea is not an end to itself. Like we said, it grows to create other great ideas. So an idea that looks like an end to itself really may not do much. So you may think about that to work on it a bit more. So how can you work on your ideas? How can you work on ideas to make them better? That's the next part we'll be delving into in a moment. So looking at improving the quality of ideas you generate. One basic way you can improve the ideas, the quality of the ideas you generate, is by learning and development. You have to develop yourself. When you know better, you will do better. Think about it for myself. I've learned that the older I go, or the more experienced I get about the thing, the better ideas I generate about that thing. So, the passage of time, don't beat yourself up when you really don't know a thing, or you're not getting the best ideas out of the thing. Just allow time pass and invest in yourself. So learning and self-development is very important. What should you do? You read. Reading is to the mind what the whetstone is to iron, to make iron sharpen, right? Reading makes your mind spark. It's massive. It's something you should try it. It's really, really helpful. So, learning and self-development, very important. I read a book, The Art of Learning by Jim Stovall and Ray Hall. They talked about the fact that we actually live to learn. The human mind lives to learn. The reason why you're alive, really, to know more, so you do more. You can do better than you know. So, you need to learn more. And one of the ways you can learn is by reading. Reading is to your mind what a whetstone is to blade, right? You sharpen iron when you put it on the whetstone. But reading is what sharpens your mind. So we need to learn to read more so that we learn better. Something else we could do, travel. Travel also, general exposure rather to your mind. Travel is one of the things that will expose you. You go to places, things you've not seen before, you experience other cultures, your mind can open. Ideas come from that a lot. Travel. A lot of times when I travel, my mind gets to open up. Sometimes when I'm on the trip, sometimes when I'm coming back from the trip, sometimes when I'm just relaxing, having some rest, something, my mind opens up and ideas get generated at that time. Very, very key. So generally, travel, expose your mind to great content that form a solution-oriented mindset. You need to be open to solutions. You need to be flexible to things. You need to be open-minded and rather be fluid in your response to things rather than rigid. Very, very important. Another way you can improve the quality of your ideas is by the people you associate with. Associate with the right people, and you would make great ideas come, because as you interact with these people, great ideas come out of your interactions. All right, that's where we draw the curtain on this conversation for now. We'll expand this a bit more on the very next episode. We'll bring in more practical scenarios that we can work around so that we create more ideas before we go on the cruise mode into the deeper stuff that we have to share. And some of my guests will start coming on really, really soon. So watch out for that. Now to Heji's take. I believe that a great idea not executed is worthless. A great idea poorly executed does not create much as well. So put the right thoughts and the right effort into your ideas. And here I remember a client of mine who always brings his ideas to me to test on the basis of logic, law, business sustainability, and I usually enjoy these sessions. We ideate and we expand the ideas and we check it. And then I check whether it will work when executed. I also then give legal context to these things, advice based on existing laws and how they would impact the ideas. And we get around them. I advise how we get around them. I advise you try this as well. Generally, know that your ideas not executed are worthless. Get around your ideas. Talk to someone about them. Create more ideas and create a blissful future for the world. Thank you very much. This is Made for More with Oheji. Thank you for joining us on the very first episode on Season 4, Made to Innovate. We'll go deeper into some of the things we talked about, the kind of ideas that change the world, and we'll talk about how these ideas come more. We'll bring more practical solutions and more practical aspects of the conversations. And then I'll let you know when we start having some guests to make our conversations more robust. Thank you very much for joining. I'm always glad to be your captain on this world, this journey to the world of more. And then see you next time. My name remains Oheji.